Good morning, I am Jessa Mae Cardona. In this morning, we will be learning about the economy and resources. Economy and resources. When we say economy, it is how people use money, goods, and services to meet their wants and their needs. Resources is those things we use to make goods and provide services like natural materials, money, and workers. So under the economy and resources, there are 5 subtopics. The first one is we have the needs versus wants, goods and services, producers and consumers, saving and spending money, and the last one is the natural resources and conservation. So first, let us learn what is needs versus wants. Needs versus wants. What is needs? Needs are things we must have to survive, like food, water, and shelter. So needs are those things we must have to live, like food, water, shelter, and clothes. So there are 4 basic material needs of human beings. As I said earlier, first we have the food, shelter, clothing, and health care. Next is wants. Wants are things we would like to have but can live without. So wants are the things we would like to have but can live without. Without those things we can live. For example, fancy clothes, cars, and like toys. Next is goods and services. Goods are physical items we can buy. We can buy like clothes, food, and cars. So, goods are the things people can buy and use. Like I said earlier that those are clothes, foods, and cars. Next is services. Services are actions or tasks performed for others like teaching, haircuts, and medical care. So services are those things, are those activities that people do for others. Like, for example, in goods, we have the things we buy or use. For example is furniture. So, in these goods, the people who give us service are those carpenter. Next is accessories, clothes, and the services are those people who do to help other people. Like for example, any police officer, nurse, or babysitter. So they are the people who help other people. Next is producers and consumers. So producers make good or provide services. So producers are those people who make goods or provide services like farmers, doctors. While the consumers buy and use goods or services. So consumers are people who buy and use goods and services. Like, for example, in this example, the producer is the farmer. And then the consumers are those people who buy the crops of the farmer. So, producers and consumers are persons can both person who can produce or who can consume. For example, the farmer. So they are the producer and they are also the consumer. Next is saving and spending money. So saving means keeping money for future needs or emergency, while spending means using money to buy goods and services. So when we say spending money or saving money, people earn money by working. They can either spend it on things they need or want, or to save it for the future use. So for example here, so saving and spending. So in today's generation, we must balance our saving and spending. We must balance our on how we spend our money and how to save money. So saving money helps people prepare for emergency or for future use. The next one is we have the natural resources and conservation. So natural resources are materials from nature that people use. So when we say natural resources, are those things from nature that we people use. Like for example, water, trees, and minerals. While conservation means protecting and using resources wisely to ensure they last for future generations. So conservation means using resources wisely and not wasting those resources, or you're not wasting those natural resources. We must conserve it for the future generation or for the future use. So for example of natural resources and conservation is here. So by planting trees or by recycling and using less, help protect our natural resources for the future generation. So we need to conserve our natural resources for the future generation. So again, economy and resources. So there are 5 subtopics of the economy and resources. We have the needs versus wants, goods and services, producers and consumers, saving and spending money, and the natural resources and conservation. So always remember that we need to conserve our natural resources for our next generation. So that's all for today.